Hello, hello, and welcome to Happy Day Crafts. Today I'm here to share with you guys what the final outlook, what the final share, the final look, not outlook, but the final look of the Jupiter's box that I was working on this Saturday with SAZON's Vintage World. For those of you guys that don't know, that's hubby, and we do a couples live crafting session on Saturdays at 8 p.m. here on my channel. This Saturday, before I proceed with this, make sure that you stay tuned because we're swapping worlds, you guys. We're flip-flopping. He's going to be doing fantasy art, which is this type of stuff. So he's going to be doing fantasy art, and I get to do collage, not collage, vintage. I always think of collage when I think of vintage. I'm going to be doing vintage with no fantasy involved, you guys. I was told part of the rules is that I cannot do any fantasy, and for him, he cannot use any vintage anything. So this is going to be interesting, okay? Because when I said, I want to do this, they were like, you can't. I was like, no. So, yes. So if you want to see me struggle, which most likely I will, definitely check this out. Check us out on Saturday. I'm going to leave a link to his channel down below so that you can go ahead and support him as well and check out his channel as well. He has all kinds of like the most beautiful little vintage projects that you will want to see. So definitely go check him out and show him some love and show him some support, you guys. So I'll also leave a link to the live stream down below as well if you're interested in seeing how I, how the whole box got started. So you guys, oh my goodness, Jupiter's box is done, you guys. I can't believe it. I've been spending the last, I'm going to say since that day, I've been kind of working on it on and off, on and off. I originally had planned to record it, but between all the stopping and going, like there were parts that I forgot to turn the camera on. And so, yeah, today we have a share. But hopefully it'll be good enough. Again, if you want to see how most of this construction was done, because all the clouds were painted on that during that live, and as well as some of the work that was done on Jupiter Queen was done during that live. So you'll get at least a good 80% of what I did on this box during that live. I'll tell you guys a little bit more about the last little bits of touches that I added. So you guys, yes, I love it. What do you guys think? I think it came out super, super, super cool. I have a whole story in my head that I kind of went with when I was creating this box. That was like my original inspiration behind it. As you guys know, I design. Well, I'm starting to design my own resins. So I'm creating my own, designs, and I'm casting them, I'm molding them, and I'm creating my own designs. This is a replica of another one, but it's an altered replica because this is actually supposed to be a sun, but I didn't want, the rest of the sun piece. I just wanted the face. I thought the face was super cool. So this is not my original design, you guys. I just wanted to point that out. This is actually a mold of a sun. It's like really, really huge, and the face is really small in it. So I just wanted the face area. This is a replica as well of this little clock thing. So I just I had that in my resin stash, so I used that. So let's talk a little bit about the products that I used and what I did on here. So where I left off, you guys, I hadn't done the words. I did share that I was going to be adding this in there, but I didn't share none of the other little bits and pieces that I was going to be, doing and stuff like that. So I went ahead and added some trim. I've got here some of the stuff that I got left over. So I added some of this. I just thought it kind of made the motion of like movement in my mind. And I try to keep this, like, yes, it's very fantasy. But I also kind of like used my knowledge, I guess I'm going to say, of like Jupiter and like, as the planet and all of those things. So, Jupiter has like all of these, all of these bands around it. It's like in a constant storm. I didn't go with the colors of Jupiter because I love blue and blue's not in there, I don't think. So basically, I try to stay with that. Jupiter has a whole bunch of moons. It's just like in constant movement, but if you look at it, it looks perfectly still and perfectly, calm. but underneath it all is like total storms. So that's kind of like the premise of all of this. So basically the whole theme of it is like time is like, you know, it's trapped and it's like going away. Like, you know, you can't bring it back. So time is like kind of going away. That's the whole idea for that. And so we have all these different movements. We have all of the sequence represents are like all the different planets, like not the different planets, but yeah, I guess like the different moons or whatever it is that it has floating around on its rings, because it's got a whole bunch of rings. Um, and so that's what all the sequence is supposed to kind of like represent. And then the stars, obviously the stars in the sky. Um, and then mirrors, because this is about reflecting. This has to do with time. This has to do with time that has passed. This also has to do with Jupiter, you know, being such a massive, you know, bigger than life type of planet. Um, you know, such an unstoppable force. It kind of gravitates and pulls everything towards it, even though it's very calm and very serene. You know, it's always kind of like buzzing underneath it all. So this is my original design. Okay, and this is Wendy, Wuendy. Yes, I know. And this is Jupiter Queen's companion. This was designed by me, cast it in resin, and it's available at my shop, happydaycrafts.com, if you're interested. I think she came out super cool. I really, really love it, and I thought it would be a perfect little emblem for this box. Again, we continue with the whole sky theme, because this is supposed to be like outer space and all of that good stuff. And again, Jupiter Queen's story is that she's kind of like the queen of this very distant, faraway land, that lives deep, deep down inside my imagination. So basically, I did all of the work to tell you guys a little bit about the paints that I used to achieve this look. Basically, I mixed. Well, I started with a little bit, so I added a little bit here and there, very sporadically, and then just kind of blended it out into the, you know, into the already existing white. And then I added some of this Deco Art patent silver, but any metallic silver paint will do. And then again, little bits, and I just kind of went blending it in, blending it in, blending it in, so that I can create like light and dark areas to kind of give it contrast. And all I did was use these two colors right here to do that. And then as far as the glitter in the background, it's the blue one. Is this Milky Way Blue by Deco Art. It's Galaxy Glitter. It's absolutely yumminess. I've shared tips and tricks on how to play with glitter paints, as far as how to apply it so that you have a nice even disbursement of all of the glitters. So that's what I use. I use this Deco Art Galaxy Glitter Milky Way Blue. While I have you guys here and entertained, if you're interested in these types of projects and you would like to see more altered boxes like this, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I would really would really appreciate that. I would love to hear, you know, your feedback on these types of projects. Oh my goodness, you guys are seeing me, and it's early. I haven't even combed. Well, I only have to comb half because this side right here is gone. My hair is all crazy. Okay, anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. Oh my goodness, it's too early. I haven't had coffee yet. You can hear it in my voice. I need some coffee. I need some cafe. So you guys, so that's basically what I did with this. And then I had, you know, obviously I still have mirror pieces left, and so I just took a few of them and just kind of scattered them around, just to kind of give the mirror purpose and to give the mirror a reason for existing. If you were part of our live on Saturday, you know that I created like this little mirror with a frame. I'm going to show you guys now the inside of the box, but let's work with the outside first. So I added these sequence stars that SAZON had in his stash. So when he hears this video, he's going to be like, what? That's where you got them from? Because he looked at me kind of curiously, and I think it's because he recognized it, but I didn't tell him. I didn't ask permission. I just used what I needed to use. And so, yeah. I might have to give those back to him, but I think I put them to great use, and I put the sequence facing down so that it's kind of like without the edges sticking up. So I put the star sequences facing down just so that I can protect them a little bit more. And then the these letters right here, I went ahead and gessoed them, and then I gave them a layer of the green first, because you guys know it has to have green, right? So I gave them a layer of this extraterrestrial green. Okay, and the Galaxy Glitters, again, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I gave it like a layer of that, just over the gesso, the white gesso. because I didn't want to take away, I didn't want to blend out too much the letters. I still wanted the letters to kind of stand out from against the background, but I wanted the letters to also feel like they're part of that background, right? So what I did is that I added the green just to give it a little bit of difference, just to switch it up a little bit. And then I went in with the silver. Okay, and I also went in with this dazzling metallic and ice blue. And what I did is just kind of like fatigue, like military clothing. I kind of just went in with like a little bit of silver here, a little bit of blue, a little bit of silver here, a little bit of blue, and just like little touches here and there, here and there, here and there. And that's kind of like how I achieved the look of the letters. Let me just give you guys a nice little close up. Oh my goodness, I love this box. I so love it. I'm so like excited. I'm finally feeling the amazing joy that is to craft, you guys. It's finally coming back to me. I feel my roots again. I feel them. I feel them. So came out super, super cute, you guys. I think, I don't know. You will let me know. So this is the side. Remember, the sides weren't done yet. The only thing I haven't done is the back, this part here, because for this part here, I'm going to write a quote, my own like specific quote that has to do with like time and stuff like that. I was thinking about yesterday what I wanted to write on it, but I don't, I want to make sure that whatever I put behind here is something that like truly has a meaning for me. I don't want to just put anything back here, you know, just for the sake of filling up the box. I think the box already is beautiful, and anything that I put up back here will, you know, be just as beautiful, but I want to make sure that whatever I add here has true value for me, and it kind of goes to, you know, has to do with the whole storyline of the, you know, of the box. So I remembered yesterday what it was. Like I had it in my mind yesterday, but I went to sleep and I woke up and I forgot. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I'll remember later. So basically what I did is I did the grass with alcohol markers. Okay, so I used a green one. And I just kind of, you know, just little flickers, and then just kind of shaded the whole thing in. I wanted it to be kind of open and spacious because, again, Jupiter Queen is kind of lonely. She doesn't really have anybody in her, like in her home planet. She's, like, there are things there and creatures there and things like that there, but she hasn't discovered them yet, right? So that's like the whole evolution of Happy Day Crafts. It's like she's on this journey and she's discovering like all of these different things, you know, as she travels through her immense, ginormous homelands. She's encountering all these different things, right? From steampunk this to this, that, and the third. Like, it's a whole evolving storyline, which you're going to see taking place here at Happy Day Crafts. So make sure that you subscribe, like this video, comment down below, and follow me on my journey. Oh yeah, and thumbs up, you guys. Thumbs up. Thank you so much. So again, with the glass, with the mirror, oh, I gotta clean this one. I got paint on it. Thank God this mirror, it comes up really, really quickly. Anywho, I'll do that a little bit later. I got a little bit of the brown paint in here by mistake. I must have touched it. So I added the stars and just a few mirrors. I didn't want to go too heavy. I did go in here and just add a little bit more of the clouds and just kind of bring the clouds going kind of like around. As you guys can see, I did the whole grass area. I wanted it to look like, you know, there was depth, like you can, like the sky just goes and goes and goes. So we have some darker clouds, you know, just like representations of darker clouds, like further in the background there. So this is, I'm just going to show you the top lid, okay? So this is what the front of it looks like. I went ahead and added this this beautiful little butterfly here. This is a BB Crafts item that I got, like, oh my God, sometime last year. And again, I added more of the clouds. The tree, I did go back into it and kind of go, did a little bit of an overlay and just a sketchy kind of strokey type of thing with some alcohol markers. I believe that this is the color that I used right here, and it's called Brun, B-R-U-N. But any kind of marker or any kind of situation will do. So basically, after I painted this with the metallic paint, which was this one right here, this rich espresso paint, after that I was over, I did come back in here just with the marker. I started adding lines and just a little bit of shadowing here and there. The flowers themselves as well were put on here with alcohol markers. I basically just did little hearts. So basically just little hearts and a few little leaves here and there. And then for the leaves I used two different colors of paint, one of which was this crystal green, and then the other one was the matte metallic. this matte metallic and emerald green. Okay, so that's what I used to basically do the little leaves. I was kind of debating on how I wanted to do these flowers, and I'm like, I can't go too detailed and too realistic because the tree's supposed to be like somewhere far away, so you're not supposed to be able to see so much detail on something that's supposed to have distance. um, so that's like a clever little, you know, scapegoat right there, you guys. So on the other side, again, repeating with the same thing, I created the grass with markers. I added a few mirrors and a few stars scattered about, and that is basically what it looks like 360. And then we have Wendy, who's blowing at the butterfly or trying to blow at the butterfly. She's trying to talk to the butterfly. She's like, hello, my friends. Hi, how you doing? Nice seeing you here. Where you come from? How can I get there? Can I visit? You know, those types of conversations. So basically, I'm loving how the top came out, you guys. Like, the combination of painting with acrylic, you like giving it this whole, you know, realistic type of backgrounds, in combination with the fantasy aspect of this, you know, this clock that has like a trapped moon in it, representing like time, representing, you know, past memories and all of these different things. It's like, oh my goodness. Okay, and now for the inside, you guys. Now I'm gonna say this, I didn't go too crazy on the base of the box. Okay, I just kind of kept it really simple because I figure we're gonna be putting stuff in and out of it. All that paint's gonna probably peel away, you know, if I start adding, like, depending on the stuff that I put in it. So I will have to put something that's really delicate in here. And even with something being delicate, just because of the papers and stuff that they, you know, that they make these boxes with, you know, that glossy paper, sometimes paints and mediums and stuff like that don't stick too well on those surfaces over time, especially when they're going to be constantly in use. And if I end up having this box as something that I want to keep like certain special moments or memories or whatever in, that means I have to get in and out of it, and I didn't want to be scratching up everything that's in the base or in the bottom. And so oh my goodness, you guys. So this is what it looks like. Again, I painted the bottom brown just to kind of give it like that whole outdoorsy type of vibe, I guess. So I just painted the bottom brown, and then just did a little bit of darker blues on the inside, and kind of splotched it around a little bit in there. And that's basically what I did. I wanted it to have a very textured kind of look, and at the same time I'm hoping that it'll stay there, right? Like it'll stay put. So let's put this kind of like this so that I can show you guys what I did here. And so again, with the same type of techniques, on the original live, you're gonna see me paint all of the clouding and all of that stuff. You're gonna see that there. So if you're interested in finding out the tips and tricks that I use to create my clouds, then you definitely want to check that video out, because that's a lot of what I end up doing during that process. So again, with the sequence, because remember, she's Jupiter, she's got all these things constantly around her. You know, they're in constant rotation. I don't know who gives who life, but at the end of the day, they're in constant rotation with each other. And here she's able to kind of see her favorite moon, her favorite moments, her favorite memories, right? By looking into the mirror, she will see it there. And basically that's like the whole representation of this whole thing, is like the memories, you know, that you can go back. At least you'll always have those memories type of situation. So it's like, even though they're not there, they're still always there, right? Because you'll never forget them. And so what I did with her, I had shared with you guys during that live stream what I had done with her. And basically what I did is that I have this plastic, it's like a tablecloth, but it's made of plastic, right? It's like that plasticky, it's almost like if you guys see like when people do like those silicone, when they do those molds, that they put like the silicone thing and they scrape it off and it comes out like super fine, kind of lacy, but very plasticky still type of molding. Well, this is kind of that, but this is actually from a tablecloth, and the tablecloth is like for a king's table. It's like so much, is ridiculous. And so what I did is that I took this and I crazy glued it onto her body with brush on nail glue, but you can use any kind of crazy glue or any kind of glue that you think is going to hold onto that well. because you have to make sure that you can, like, you know, press it in and have it kind of like wrap instantly. Because if you just leave it, there's probably gonna, you know, start curling up, so on and so forth. So I did that, and originally I was working with her during the live stream with markers, but I messed up because when I before I went live to work that day, I gessoed her, and I gessoed her with a clear gesso, and this gesso, to be exact, right here, this Monty Mart clear texture gesso. And it says premium and all that good stuff, but it did not like markers at all. It hated markers. Now, I'm not going to say that it hates markers over paper, like over gessoed paper, but it hates markers over gessoed resin, okay? It lifted up all of that gesso. I was having clumps and like, nasty. I didn't like it. I know that you guys probably looked at it like, I know she gonna fix that. Yeah, I was. So, basically what I did is I cleaned her face. Like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't deal anymore. I cleaned her face and I painted it. So I painted it with light buttermilk. Okay. Now I still might add like a little bit of shadow because I feel like she needs a little bit more contrast and contour on her face. So I mean, she's got a lot of nice details to her. If you can see that, she's already got like nice details to her, but I think she needs a little bit more contouring. So maybe I'll go later on during the day and just, like, you know, add a little bit of shadowing like around the nose and the eyes, just to give her a little bit more contour. And maybe I'll rosy up the cheeks just a little bit. She just has so much red going on. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna add red on her cheeks too, like so I wasn't really too, you know, too happy about that, or too sure about that. Let me just say it like that. So what I did is that I had markered her whole entire body. Like, I had did the whole body in marker. So her hair is in marker right now. But I wasn't really, the hair came out nice. I like the way the hair came out. I just didn't like the way that her face was coming out, and nor the dress area. So after I cleaned all of that up, I went into it with a little bit of this Wild Rose Pink acrylic paint, okay? Mixed with, where are you, where are you, where are you? My rouge, if I can find it right here. Rouge, and this is chalky finish. So this is a dry, kind of like a dry acrylic paint, and this is like a wet acrylic paint. It's like the best way that I can describe it. So I did a little dab of both and kind of, like, you know, mixed it in a little bit because I wanted the red to be there, but I didn't want it to be so overpowering on the dress that it took away from the pattern that was on the dress. So all that pattern that is there, that's actually this right here. So it looks like I stenciled it or I embossed it somehow, but it's just this kind of fabric glued on there. It will be the same if you did lace. Like, you could do lace and probably achieve the same thing. It doesn't have to be plastic material. So I glued that onto her body, and then I went in there with two different glitters. And the first one was Red Nebula, and the other one was Pink Cosmos. Okay, and these glitters, their base is clear. So all this color that you see is the actual glitter, right? Their base is clear. So that means if you spread them really far out, all you're going to see is like glitter here, glitter there. You're not going to see no color. So this is kind of perfect to paint over a pre-existing, you know, layer. So what I did is that I went into all of these with marker, and I basically made sure that they were nice and dark. And then I went over it with two different layers of the glitter. So I layered the first layer, let it dry, and then I layered the second layer. For her hair, again, because everything is kind of like, you know, interconnected somehow. For her hair, I did it in markers, and basically I used two different markers. I did like a brown and a yellow. And once I did all of that, which I did that in the live, what I did afterwards is I added some of this glitter paint. You guys know I'm loving this glitter stuff. It's called Gold Shooting Star by Deco Art, again, Galaxy Glitter. And I just kind of brushed it in a downward kind of motion, just trying to, like, little sections here, little sections there, little sections there, and then I would just kind of spread it out so it's not too clunky. It's not too much, but it gives such a pretty sparkle. Like, you can see all of that shine. Oh my goodness, you guys. So, this is the dress. And I've been kind of putting little pictures here and there, but you guys know how that goes, right? So I'm trying to find an angle for you guys so that you guys can see. So the dress is glued to the back, right? The dress is glued to the back. I stuffed it and everything. I did all of that during that live stream. So again, if you want to see how I used, the resin piece is just this big. It's just this much. The rest of it was added on, and I think it's perfect because it allows me to close my box. So right at her waistline, I can make any kind of dress that I want, and I can still close my box. It's super cool. So I really, I thought that was really cool about that. And then with the flowers, which are these right here, I just kind of went over and just added glitter. So I added some of the pink and I added some of the red. Okay, so the pink nebula and the red, no, pink cosmos and red nebula. And I just kind of added that to the roses to just give them that glitter, to give them that shine and that sparkle. I also went in between all of the trims because what I used to make her dress was this little rose trim right here. This is what I have left. So I used this. So we have all this mesh here on the top and on the bottom. I only really glued this part here because I left these parts kind of out just in case I needed to add something or another layer. I wanted to have room to do it. So once I decided that I wasn't going to add any more lace or any more trim because this was busy enough as it was, what I did is that I went with the glitter, with the galaxy glitters. And then I just added galaxy glitters all along, like some of that, just to kind of like incorporate it into the dress. So you can see. Let me see. Okay. See if that helps. And then I just tuck some of those pearls in here because remember this represents the wind and Jupiter's in constant spinning motion. So I used some of that to kind of like tuck it all around the dress because it's supposed to represent the wind that wraps around Jupiter. Right? Super cool. So and then this I did the same exact way as this because it's supposed to be the same, it's supposed to be the same face, right? Even though they don't really look exactly alike. But this one has her eyes closed and the other one has her eyes open, so I guess it'll work. Hopefully you guys didn't see my ugly mug all up in here, but hopefully, hopefully. But yes, you guys, I really love it. I love it. It's kind of like a Jack in the Box, but it's a Jupiter in a box. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's really pretty. And it's my first box like this, with like a resin coming out of it, like, super dimensional. Fantasy is always my thing, you guys know. If you followed me for any amount of time, you guys know that I err on the side of fantasy. Mostly for my projects, my art, stuff like that. So that's a lot of what you're gonna see here. There's a lot of fantasy type of art, and I'm working on resin. I'm working on new designs now for molds, for resins, not for molds because I don't sell molds. I just sell the resin pieces. So I'm working on a few designs now to see, see where we go. I'm kind of like in a process of rebuilding a lot of the storyline. I've already casted like Rusty, the Maiden. I did Jupiter. They've got companions now. They've got friends. So I'm working on like the next, the next parts of this story, and it's gonna continue to evolve as it goes. You know how it is, you guys. So if you thought that this was like super cool, super unique, super awesome, super, then definitely give this video a huge thumbs up. And it would warm my heart in this cold day if you would share it on your Facebooks, your Instagrams, your social medias. Screenshot the video while you're watching it on your phones and say, hey, go check this chick out. She's doing really cool stuff on her channel, and you might want to check it out. So my goal is always to inspire and motivate. And so with that being said, you guys, oh my goodness, I don't even want to close the box and then I don't want to keep it open. It's like I love both sides so much. I don't know how I'm going to keep the box. Like, I don't know if I'm going to keep it open. I don't know if I'm going to keep it closed. I might just hang it from a string so that I can kind of like spin it around. I have no idea, you guys. But I love it. And like I said before, make sure that you stay tuned for this Saturday, you guys, at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And it's going to be vintage versus fantasy, or, I don't even know how that's going to go down. The box closes all the way. It does close all the way. I just hadn't didn't have it closed all the way. The thing is that I have to do, you see I got paint on this. Yeah, don't do that. I try to blend this part in. This is fine. This will grab no matter what. You can throw anything on it and it'll catch it. But this right here, because I put paint on it, now it's giving me a little bit of a pain. So I have to kind of, I've been scraping it off and it's been grabbing a little bit better. But it does hold itself closed for now. Excuse me, you guys. I need to go make some cafe. Some coffee. And I'll share this on my social media and probably my my community page. Definitely make sure that you check out my community page, you guys. I put pictures of my stuff all the time there, of little things that I'm working on. Sometimes those projects don't even make it to video. So if you're interested in seeing what I'm doing, on a regular basis, then definitely check out my community. Definitely follow me on social media, you guys. Again, I'm going to leave a link to SAZON's Vintage World down below so you guys can go ahead and follow him and support him. He's an amazing crafter and an amazing husband, you guys, because he's here every Saturday, you guys, with your girl, rocking it out in the crafty world. And definitely that's something that, we got to cherish and we got to have fun. So support him, support me. I greatly appreciate you guys. And I will catch you on the next one. And Jupiter, one last look. She says bye. Look how peaceful she looks. She looks just as peaceful as her moon. Because at the end of the day, that's priceless, right? Peace is priceless. I'll check you guys out later. Bye. Here's looking at you, kid.